Usually I'm solo. I've had guests here and there, but we have a new guest, y'all. This is the wonderful Adryane Shanice, and she is the founder and the owner of Pursue Her, and she is my client, y'all. So I am so excited to have her on here because we be having the most fire conversations, like just like together. And I'm like, "Ugh, I guess we can have these with y'all too. Y'all can hear a little bit of the sauce, the stuff that we be talking about. Though we just have a really good chemistry. And so I'm excited, and I'm excited to be bringing her in with a new format that I'm going to be trying out. For today's episode, we are going to be talking about what it looks like when your life is shifting, when you're not even just your life, when your career, when your business is shifting, and you're at a place where you really don't know what's next. And low key, you're probably annoyed with people asking you what's next because you don't even know. They're like, why are we talking about this? Why are you asking me these questions? I don't know. Do you know? So, we're going to talk about that and what that looks like and how you can navigate that, because there are some ways and some things that you now have the opportunity to consider when it comes to navigating this space, because you finally are giving yourself, if you allow yourself to, you're finally allowed to give yourself permission to really pursue the things that you want. Not just the things you had to do to make money, not the thing that you felt like you were supposed to do so that you didn't disappoint anybody, but the thing that you truly want to do. And Adryane is all about that. First of all, her business is called Pursue Her, and it's about pursuing her and what she truly desires, what she wants, and designing a life that she doesn't have to escape from. So, this is the perfect person to talk about this. And we were inspired by this whole concept because of a podcast that we were both watching called She's So Lucky Podcast. And the host of the podcast is in a new place, an unfamiliar place, and she's now facing that question of, I like, what's next? I don't know what's next, and I'm not really sure where to take this now. And also, I don't think I've ever liked any career that I've had, which is like, I feel like it's probably super scary to be in that place. And, having a support system, having people who can help you to navigate it with grace, with clarity, but also making sure that you don't revert back to the patterns and the things that got you there in the first place is so crucial. And that's where people like Adryane come into play, because they can help you make sure that you don't abandon yourself again, that you're truly pursuing what it is that you desire, and you get to build a life, design a life that you love. So, y'all, welcome Adryane. Woo, 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 woo. How are you feeling
Hello.
about this topic, Adryane?
Great. I feel like it's needed, and I feel like a lot of people are in this spot. So I think it's very timely.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And actually, I know so because I can relate to being in this place. So we're going to get into it because I'm about to be telling my business a little bit, y'all. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But before we do, we're also going to be playing a little game called We're Not Really Strangers. And this game, I found out about this game like a few years ago. I was watching a podcast. I believe it was the Love Hour that I was watching. Have you ever seen the Love Hour before?
The Kev on Stage old podcast with Melissa.
Yeah, with Melissa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's where I found out about it. I love Melissa's podcast. Like, she like really talked about deep stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I need this."
Hey, when
So,
they stopped it, I was like,
me too. I was like, you feel like you done?
yes,
Like, you
same
just like, you
with the
just gonna
bald and
end it like
beautiful. I'm
this?
like, what? Come on.
We can have both.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is that it asks questions that you probably wouldn't think to ask, but when you hear the answer, you're like, oh my goodness, I just learned something new about you. And this could be somebody that you've known for years. I'm gonna pick a question. It's a juicy one too, because I really want to know this one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We can both ask it. We can both answer it.
Okay.
So the question is, who do you think is my celebrity crush? Let's answer it instead of guessing.
Okay.
And then we can give our reasons why.
Mm. You go first.
Okay. You go, of course, of course. Okay. So my celebrity crush, one of my crushes, because I feel like some of these men are really looking good lately. But the one that I like really liked was Kofi Siriboe.
Oh,
He was the one from Queen Sugar.
yeah.
Just a beautiful chocolate man.
Yeah.
A beautiful chocolate man. He was just
His
beautiful.
brothers as well. Yeah.
You said what?
His brothers as well.
I didn't see his
I
brother. He
believe
got
his
some
brothers as
brothers.
well. Uh-huh.
Is more,
Yeah.
and they're all beautiful like
You
that.
know, a little chocolate, you know.
Oh my goodness. I had an opportunity to meet him. Like it was kind of like indirect, but my mom was friends with the actor. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he played in I think it was like Vampire Diaries or one of like the vampire movies, and he passed away unfortunately from alcohol, and so he is man. He was a really like beautiful person, but alcohol, man,
Hmm.
it'll really do you in. And so
Hmm.
anyway, he was a friend of my mom's. And so because of that, he also knew the cast from Queen Sugar. And my mom and dad went to have dinner with them and she got to meet all of them. And I was like, so you mean to tell me that you got a perfectly single daughter
Free
and you
and
didn't
clear.
bring me?
Right.
What are we doing?
Dad said,
What are we doing? I
I'm
was
taking your spot.
convinced. I was like, I just need to get in the room. I'll take it from there. So I didn't get to meet him. I didn't get to meet him, but I felt like I was close, and I'll cherish that for the rest of my life. But yeah, that's one of mine.
Okay. So here's a hot take. I don't have like real celebrity crushes. So I just don't, I mean, there's some attractive men out there. Like the whole package makes you attractive to me, not just a look. And so
Uh huh.
I'll be like, like, like,
You get the ick
yeah,
when it's
I'll get
like
the
you
dick.
hear them talk, and you're like, no, this ain't it.
Yeah,
I understand
for
that.
certain decisions, I'm like, yeah, moved on, you know?
That's fast.
Um, so this is gonna be weird, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So I know this person's married, so this is not obviously a real crush, but like a LL Cool J type, older LL Cool J, not younger LL Cool J. So I want someone who, man, he supports his wife down. Okay, he supports
Yeah.
her products, everything. He's repping whatever. He didn't put himself in a box. He didn't just stay in rap. He went out and explored other options, making
Yes.
money from the clothing line to the movies to the, television shows, hosting gigs. His style, I like streetwear. I love the way
Uh
he
huh.
look, the muscles. Okay. I like that, you know, he can handle himself in different environments. He knows what to do when it's time to do what it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Um, he a little thug. No, a little thug. I don't think he got a record, but if he do, I don't know. I like,
Yeah.
when that person, I don't know if you followed, but when that person broke in that man's house and his kids were there and his daughter having a summer party, he beat the brakes off the man.
Did he really? I
Oh,
didn't
really?
know about that.
Oh, really? I said, now that,
Man.
yeah, that's a man. So, yeah, a
Man.
man. That's what I like.
I like that. I respect that too. You're not the first person that I've had this conversation with and they're like I don't really do like the crushes, like it's got to be more for me. And I get that and I can relate to that for sure because I'll get grossed out when I hear like a take that you have or like if I hear you like not that I've heard this one specifically, but like let's just say like when you're talking about women, you call them females, bro. Oh, you have lost me for life. Get away. So, like, knowing more about their character and who they are is also a part of the attraction, which I get. It just sucks though that you really don't see a lot of them really being that way unless they're married. Like it's like I don't know what the single ones are doing, man, but it's
Trying to
like
tell
y'all are
you, when you
not.
get with the right woman, to the men in the audience, you elevate. Because that's all we know how to do. You know, we're going to multiply what's there. But you got to give us something to work with, brothers.
Please
Okay?
bring us the raw materials.
Come on. Come on. Make it great. Us too.
I love that. I do, and I do love the idea of like really supporting your wife and not like being able to use the privilege that you have to help her too. Like I love when I'm able to see like, okay, I've established this for myself and I built this for myself. Now you get to benefit off of all of this and do what you want to do. And that's what I also like about how Kev on stage is too. It's like he's built the platform for himself and his name, but now Melissa gets to build her own thing and do what she wants to do, but she's not starting from like the beginning.
No, and what I love about that relationship is that he afforded her the opportunity to explore. Figure it out. Figure
Yes,
out what you want. Take it. Try. Dibble dabble. It's
exactly.
not a waste of money. You know, like she did the reality TV. Like she had their shows when they had like she did things. She's tried different things. It was like, you don't want to stick with it? That's a waste of money. Like you don't hear, you know what I mean?
Yes,
So that is also good. When you have someone that has an entrepreneurial spirit and you allow them to fly, like, and just be curious and explore, it's going to pay off. It's
it
just,
is.
it is.
It is. And I mean, she looked like she was just like thriving and loving her life. So
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like I'm seeing Ashley in the comment section. Is this Ashley? Is this who this is? I recognize the name from the email. I see you, girl. Welcome in. Okay, this is just a fun one. This will be a real quick one. Okay, it is her. Hey, Ashley. Okay, so the next question is rate your dancing skills on a scale of 1 to 10. And on the count of three, we're going to both say our answers out loud. And then we can say like why we gave ourselves the score that we did.
Dancing skills. All right.
Okay. You got your number?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 8. What are the odds?
Yeah. No, like,
What are the odds?
yeah,
So it sounds like we need to go out dancing when we hang out.
maybe.
I love it. Okay, so why did you give yourself an 8?
I gave myself an 8 because I don't know these new stuff. Okay. So I'm not going to give myself a 10 because I'm not hip to what's out here right now fully. Okay. But when I do, that's going to raise.
It's gonna be trouble.
And I gave myself an 8 because there's so much other stuff I want to explore, like salsa and like, there's other types of dance. That's why I gave myself that. And I honestly prefer like choreography. I prefer choreographed dance necessarily. So I've done that in my
Hmm.
past. And so that's why I gave myself an 8.
Mm. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that. So you have like dance history though.
I have some dance history. Yeah, in college I did like modern dance, and then if you want to just call it like hip hop or whatever, and performed on different campuses and got paid, like all that kind of stuff.
Wow, look at that! Learn something new about you. Did not know that. And you choreograph.
Yeah,
Do
I've
you want to know why
choreographed
I'm rolling my
dances
eyes? Because
before. I sing. I'm not gonna sing live today, but I've sung at choreographed like dances, and I choreographed like fashion shows and stuff.
why did we have the same life? So I've had some dance training. It was never like extensive, it was never for a long time, but I mean, I've done just about anything performing arts related. So, dancing is just one of those things that was added into it. And then in college, I was in the dance team. It was not majorette dancing. I'm trying to think of how else to describe it, but like similar to like the dancers that you see at like the halftime at basketball games. So I did that kind of dance. I did praise dance, choreographed choreographed the dances, been in dances that was choreographed by other people. So I can dance and I enjoy dancing. The only reason why I wouldn't give myself a 10 is because I feel like, especially now, I have to get back comfortable with my body, like, and like expressing it freely. I feel like I don't have a lot of moments where it's just like I'm just dancing and like there's no rhyme or reason. I'm not thinking about if I'm doing a move right. Like it don't matter. I'm just moving my body. So I've noticed that that's something that I do want to experience more, like just being able to like just dance and just be free with my body. And then also there's just like technical things that I watch other dancers do and I know for a fact they're better than me. Like I was like, "Oh no, you do this for real." And that's amazing. I would love that, but I know my lane,
Oh,
like yeah, I know my
oh,
lane. All right. So are you ready to get into the topic
I
for today?
am.
The main conversation? All right, y'all. So, we are going to be talking about what happens when you are in a new place and you don't know what's next and you're tired of people asking you what's next. So, we were watching the podcast episode. Adryane is actually the one that shared it with me, and she was saying that she had some thoughts about it. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, let me watch it myself and see what's up. And so basically, in the episode, she has been doing this podcast for a few years and it has been doing very well, like numbers wise. It is established, like she has ads, like it's a real production. So she's done a really good job of not only like building it but also bringing in some really cool guests and people who can talk about entrepreneurship and their careers and all that good stuff. And so she's at a place now where she is in her personal life navigating the fact that she doesn't like her career. And, what does that mean? Like, oh, what do I do? And then also, I don't think I've ever had a career that I enjoy. She basically like did what she needed to do because she didn't come from money, so let me do the responsible thing. Let me do the thing that, makes the most sense. Let me be stable. So she's at a place now where she's finally like confronting those things, those thoughts, and also just what she's doing overall with the podcast, if I'm correct, right? Like I don't remember her saying too much about it in that episode, but I do remember you telling me that she has said, like it seems like it's like hit a plateau.
Yeah.
And so, like where does it go from here? And so one of the things that I thought was interesting about it is that it seems like from my perspective, a person who literally only watched one episode, so take that for what it is.
Expert.
But right, I know it all. And so watching it gave me the impression that like she is at a place where she has to embody this now. Like, she's so lucky. What does that mean? And even when listening to her describe it, it didn't align with what I imagine luck to be. And when I think about luck, I think about something that really can't be manufactured, but you can be prepared for it, or you can be in a place where you're open to receive it. Like that's what I think when I think about luck. And so even listening to it, it sounded to me like it was a lot of constraints on it and like really wanting it to work out in a particular way. And from what she described, it sounds like that's how she's lived her life. Like very, this is it. This is the next step. This is the next step. This is the logical thing to do. If I can't see where this is going, then we're not going there. So I want to hear from you, like what came to your mind when you were listening to the episode? Like what was you peeping with that?
Seeing all the above. I was also noticing though, because I saw a story of hers saying like, hey, our numbers aren't hitting like they used to, like these latest episodes you guys aren't watching, and I don't know what the deal is. And then even in that particular episode, she alluded to like if the podcast is over basically, or this isn't it, then I need to, find something else to do. And so what originally caught my attention was because things aren't going as expected or either like they have in the past, this is over. I need to pivot. I need to abandon it. And that's not always true when it comes to entrepreneurship. And I think it's what you said, like she has reached a crossroads with her way.
Mm-hmm.
The way I've been doing things, I'm out, like, it's not working anymore to give me the results that I want.
Yeah.
So now she's confronted with, do you want to keep your way? Or do you want to, like you said, embody this? So she went through a rebrand. It wasn't always called She's So Lucky. It was
Mm-hmm.
Balanced Black Girl. And she was focused a lot on like wellness stuff. And so she does still like personally do a lot of like wellness things, but she did a whole rebrand to She's So Lucky. I didn't understand it initially when she did it, but it's like, hey, you don't always understand a rebrand, you'll catch on. Like let them explain.
Right.
And so I think it is true that the rebrand occurred, and I'm not saying that wasn't aligned, but I do think it's what you said. Now you're faced with what is left.
Yeah.
And what, like she said, it's been a lot of hustle. It's been a lot of her effort. That is not luck to bring forth luck. That's what you think is your formula, like your secret sauce, your way to success every time. And that success formula that you had and have been using is not helping you in this level that you're.
Yeah. That makes me think about how when we were talking about my business and we were literally my business, not like my business, but like literally my stuff. And you were asking me what are some things that I'm noticing that I process differently or that I do differently because of your workbook, Reclaim Your Value. And I went through the workbook, y'all. And first of all, it is phenomenal. And we're going to talk about that specifically. Okay. We're going to give y'all all the details about it because once we're done talking, you're going to all want the workbook. Trust me, you're going to all want it. And so I was thinking about how there was a time when I was creating, I was trying to figure out like what is my offer going to be? Like what am I going to and so that's always been a really big thing for me. And when I say a thing, is because it's a challenge. It's always felt like I'm kind of getting it, but it feels like something's missing. I'm kind of seeing it, but something's off. And what I noticed is that I will often go for the thing that I can see making sense long term. I wasn't often paying attention to what I was already doing and what I was already enjoying. And part of that was not being confident in making something that was really truly my own and feeling like I had to follow the formulas of other successful businesses, or at least what I perceive to be successful. And you're supposed to, if you want to be a speaker, you got to have a book. So I'm like, okay, well, about what? I'm like, I'm over here just trying to like follow what people are telling me, and everything felt like it had some hints of it, but not really. And there is a new offer that I am in the pre-launch phases of. That when I tell you about it, you're gonna be like, "Girl, what?" Yeah, exactly. But it took me being present in the event that I was a part of in Houston over the weekend and noticing how good it felt just to be there. Like I had the idea, but I didn't have a whole like mapped out, this is what it's going to be. But I just didn't realize that it was bringing together all of the things that I've done naturally, and that was what made it feel so good. Like that is what made it so that I was really truly just like present there, and I was on this high afterwards where I was just like, oh my gosh, I can do anything. Like I just felt so powerful and so creative, and I was like, bruh, this is insane. I had no plans on creating a new offer. But afterwards, I was like, no, I got to figure out how to do more of this stat. And so it makes me think about the question that you asked me, which I would love for you to share with everybody here so that they know, what I'm talking about. But I noticed that when I wasn't just trying to figure it out and make all the steps make sense, and I can't do that because then this was going to happen and this doesn't make sense. It was like this, every piece of this offer is just falling into place, and everything that I'm doing in it feels I feel confident in doing it. Like, it's not, nothing about it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm not doubting anything about it. Like, I know I can talk about this just freely. And so I believe that it's because of the work that Reclaim Your Value gives you, and what it forces you, not forces you, but what it allows you to, that sounded aggressive, what it allows you to see for yourself.
It creates a safe environment for you to explore and to
Yes,
know that you're okay exploring because you have ownership of it and you can control it.
yes, yes,
Like you are in control of this part of your life. I know maybe in the past, like others, including myself, have outsourced pieces of what you'll go through in the workbook, but it lets you know to reclaim those parts, reclaim your authority, take back control, and you can choose. And then if you don't like that choice, you can choose differently and everything. So I'll read the question and I'll say like what it brought up for me and why I asked. But it says, has working through Reclaim Your Value changed any of the questions you're asking yourself about what's next, even if you don't have the answer yet? And so there was a clip where Les was like, I'm tired of people asking me what's next. I don't want to hear it anymore. And she said, it's partially because I dread it. Because and so for me it was like, oh well, you don't know the answer. She's like, oh my gosh, now I have to manufacture one, make something up, or and, and move on.
yes,
And so on your live, you had mentioned the same thing. Like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with life. I don't know what's next. I don't know what's coming up. And that that's what made me ask that question is like, did something help you get to the point where you're like, I don't have to figure it out
yeah,
based on the workbook. It's like I can feel my way through this.
right. What do you feel like is going through her mind when she hears that question? Because to me, I felt like I could feel the tightness in my chest and like the almost like panic. Like, oh my God, why are you asking me this? Like, come on. And so I would love to hear, like, what do you feel like it that's like bringing up, and why do we feel like that tightness and like that dread when people ask us that question?
I think with Les in particular, she had said in this episode that she felt like a failure
Mm,
because she didn't know what to do with her career. She didn't know where things were going. And like you said, I didn't like anything I did. So she's like, what? And so when you hear someone ask you what's next, I think the first question I think of is like, what's your next success?
yeah,
And so if she's feeling like I don't have a success now, why are you asking me what my next one is? I don't even know if I can do another. And what lane and what path that would be. And it's also, she has mentioned like she has guests on her podcast because she doesn't want to be the center of attention. She's fighting through feelings of her past from childhood where she was always overlooked and wasn't
yeah,
interesting enough. And so there's still some of that, remnants of some of that where she believes that.
yeah,
And so when you don't feel like you have much to offer, and you also feel like you could be failing at something that you've tried, and someone asks you what's the next success, you're like, psh, yeah, just
right.
pick me while I'm down, bro.
Yeah, yeah. If you hate me, just say that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know about today. You asking what I'm doing in the future. And I think for her, that's alarming.
Yeah.
And she's tried to fix so many things externally. Is also what I got from watching that podcast, from rebranding. She did like a glow up and she promoted that. And in one of her recent episodes, she's like, I don't like that glow up culture type thing anymore. And she talked about like de-influencing yourself. So so to me, she is breaking down the thing that she thought was necessary, that she found out doesn't get you to where you want.
Right.
So in real time. So yeah, it's kind of like she's like, I don't know, I'm dismantling everything because I realized it's not going to get me what I want. And now the only thing left, like I said, is her way. The way she was taught
Yes.
to be successful. And now she's starting to be like, well, if I don't choose that way, then what other way is there? And for
Yeah.
me, it's create your own. Stop trying to copy or emulate someone else's success or follow someone else's blueprint. Design success around you. And I feel like
Yes.
that is what the Reclaim Your Value workbook helps you do.
Yes. Okay. I love that you ended with that because I want to give you an opportunity to tell us like about the workbook and what it is, what it helps women to accomplish because all of these things that we're talking about right now are things that can be addressed in the workbook, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that we should let people know like if you're feeling it down in your shondo, Adryane has a solution for you. And before she gets into this workbook and every reason why you need it, I want you to know that after this, I want to get into the conversation about familiar patterns and how that can impact this journey that we well, if we choose to go on it, if we so choose, what are some things that we should be aware of when it comes to the patterns that we have and that we've developed and how that could be sabotaging the efforts that we are making towards pursuing her. So that's what we're going to talk about after our little commercial break. So if y'all want to hear the answer to that question, stay tuned. But in the meantime, tell us about the workbook.
The workbook, I'm so proud of this workbook
You
because
should be.
of what it helps women to be able to accomplish for themselves that they can own and they can run with. And so this workbook is called Reclaim Your Value, and it is a 62-page workbook that it allows you to examine what in your life that you want to remain. What in your life are you ready to release? And what in your life are you ready to have restored? And it does that in such a thoughtful, gentle way. It allows you to fill in the blanks and not have us fill it in for you. Because
Yeah,
what I've learned about successful women is we're always being told what we should do. Okay.
all the time.
And we're not always thinking about or being present with every choice that we make.
Yeah.
Sometimes we run on autopilot. Sometimes we run on like the path, the success, the trajectory that's laid out for us. And this is a time where you get to pause and say, hey, if something is not feeling right in my life, I'm not where I want to be, I'm not feeling what I want to feel, that I thought I would at this time, and I'm ready to do things differently, but I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that would look like. This is the workbook for you. It will help you answer each and every one of those questions. One of the things I love about it is you get to define your paradise. How will I
Yeah.
know when I get there? You'll know what it feels like. You'll know what it looks like. So you'll know what you expect and not be so concerned about what everyone else expects from you.
Yes. So I want to answer this question before we go into the next section because I think that this will be a beautiful way to share like my experience in going through the workbook. So Ashley asks, Jada, do you think the workbook asked you questions or encouraged you to think about things you hadn't reflected on before? And I think that it did both. So I don't know if that was an either or, but I think that it did both. It asked me questions, which I love. I don't have no problem with questions. I love questions. I love it. I ask a lot of questions, and so I think that it did ask me questions, but it asked me questions where I didn't feel like there was a right or wrong answer. And for somebody like me, that is huge because I will get in my head real fast about, okay, because if I answer it this way, then she gonna think this, and then I don't want her to think that, so let me go ahead and like, who is she? Who's reading this? Who are you performing for right now? So I'm like always like thinking of this imaginary person that's judging every answer that I give. And so I do feel like it did, but it also, I think that it gave me the space to be honest with myself. And that's where the reflection was so beneficial, because it started to show me like there are some things that you keep saying, not right now, not yet, not right now, putting it off in the back burner. Me and Adryane actually have an episode where I go in depth about all of that on her channel. So y'all make sure y'all go and check it out if you want all the tea on that, because I go very in depth and in detail about what I was feeling and why I felt like I just couldn't have X, Y, and Z. And so what I will say though is that where I am right now and even the conversation that we had, I know is a testament to the work, the questions and the reflection that I went through in the workbook, because there was a time where I would have felt so anxious about like, okay, well, like what's next in my life? And what am I doing? I need to create a new offer, and I need to have this going, and I need to have these things happening. And I still had those feelings. It didn't make them go away. But what it has shifted for me is how I handle myself in those moments,
Yeah.
how I'm able to look at what I'm feeling, and I'm not judging it. I'm not making myself feel bad about it. It's like, this is an observation. This is what's happening. And what is done simultaneously is it's helped me to be present. People tell you all the time, don't worry about the future. Don't look too far ahead. This is where anxiety comes from. Yeah, that's cute. But like, how do I actually do that? What does that look like in practice? And it's hard. It's hard when you don't know what that is, because I'm used to handling those feelings a particular way. I'm used to solving my problems a particular way, but up until this point, that hasn't really got me what I want.
Yeah.
And to be in a place right now where I'm like, this offer is, I believe I've created like my first sold out offer. Like,
Oh, I'm so
I just
excited.
feel like I really cannot wait. I cannot wait. It just makes me so excited, because it just feels like it's giving exactly what I've been trying to manufacture, and it happens so naturally. And I believe that if I was not able to be present, to savor that time, to realize like this is like a paradise moment. I don't know if like, maybe start making that a thing. Like, this is a
Yeah.
paradise moment. This is what it feels like. Like, the day was perfect. Perfect. And I just felt like I just was in like the best place possible for me at that moment. And being present there allowed me to reap the benefits of it for, I mean, who knows how long now. But I'm not worried about, okay, well, what does this mean for the direction of my business? And like, I've been doing this up until now. What are people going to think if I switch to this? I don't care. I don't care. This is where we're at. This is what we're doing. This feels good. It feels like I'm going to have everything that I need to make it happen the way that I envision it. And I feel really excited about it. And so I love that the workbook has helped me to make that a practical thing. And I've done a lot of workbooks, done a lot of workbooks in my life,
Mm.
but this something different. It's something
Yes.
different.
And my
So
goal is for those that purchase a workbook and go through it is for you to realize that you're not broken, that nothing was actually missing. You just missed it.
mm,
and there's nothing to solve. You just need to resolve it within yourself. And that's what this workbook helps you.
Bars. Bars. Y'all, look. You hear it. You hear it. This is why I ain't want to share her. But I guess y'all can have some too. Y'all can have some too. That was just, and you didn't plan none of that.
No, no.
I love it. I love it. Hello, the master man. Welcome in. So let's get back because I asked you a question about patterns
Yeah.
and that came up in our conversation. And so I would love for you to like share what you told me about like the patterns and what to look out for, especially when you're on this pursue her journey.
Yeah, I think what can happen is when we realize, oh, I need to do things differently. The first thing that we think of is I need to pivot. Like I need to do everything, like differently than I've done it before. And that isn't always the answer. But what you do need to examine is your patterns, because your pattern, even when you change your circumstances, they can have you still going in the same circles and the same cycle.
Yes.
So you're not moving, you're not making, I call it purposeful progress. You're not making progress, and you're also stuck in the same like mental and emotional state, which you also want to transition from. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's also not looked at oftentimes in coaching, like business coaching or career coaching or like some life coaching, is all of that together. It's the
Yeah.
person and also what that person is building. They affect each other. um I would look at so the question is like, what did you change without changing the way you were doing it? Sometimes it's changing the way you're doing it, not doing something completely different.
Now you ain't tell me that part. That was good.
So it's like the method needs to be adjusted, not
Yeah.
the. And so that's also what I help people with. I have a program called CEOs In. So when you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times you want to pivot. I want to switch to this industry. I want to switch to this market. I want to become this kind of coach now. I want to do this because you have some type of revelation. It's like that was still the mission. The
Yeah.
mission didn't change. The method has to change. How you see yourself has to change. How
Yeah.
you look at what your career is in entrepreneurship. Because even though you're an entrepreneur, that is your career. You still have a
Yeah.
career. So there's still learning. There's still expertise. There's still data that you need to pull. All of that goes into shaping your future.
Mm.
And then how clients see your business. And your business also should have room for you.
Yeah.
If you create a business that boxes the real you out, that's why you feel a disconnect. That's why you don't feel harmony within it. Just like Jada was just speaking about, like everything, I call it flowed. Everything flowed. Like Jada was flowing in Houston, as she just mentioned, right? Like she didn't have to think about it. It was so natural, she said. I say it's intuitive. You're just flowing. Why? Jada made room for Jada in her business. When
Yeah.
she went to Houston, she showed up as Jada. And Jada was met and received well. She was positioned in a way that set up her expertise perfectly. And she was before an audience that wanted to connect with her in this way.
Yeah.
Three things you need for alignment: you need to align yourself, you need to align the things that you're creating, you need to
Mhm.
align the environment you're positioning yourself in. When you have all of that and those things are working together, that helps you. So that's what I said to you before about how alignment isn't this formula. So I can't copy someone else's alignment because alignment also involves intuition.
Yeah.
It also involves you staying true to and grounded in what you've reclaimed. You don't know that about someone else. So it's like, how do I keep this momentum going? Keep making aligned decisions and taking aligned action and keep putting yourself in aligned moments where you feel your paradise. Like
Yes.
that's how you do it.
I love that. Oh, that's so good. This is gonna be so fire when I pull these clips. I'm telling you now. I mean, it's gonna be so good. I don't it don't turn off, y'all. I really do in real time. You thinking, yeah, oh, that's gonna be great later.
I'm gonna
So
click.
it's a lot going on, a lot of dots connecting. But it did make me think about. So it made me think about two things. The first thing, especially when you were talking about changing the way that you're doing it and not what you're doing, it makes me think about how, like, I see people who are literally in the right space when it comes to their brand, like what it is that they want to do, but they haven't found how to actually execute it. And so you hear them talking about, I'm rebranding again, I'm rebranding again, I'm rebranding again. I'm like, you gotta have like an established brand first. Like, you're not rebranding, you're really like navigating what it is that you want. And so many times it comes down to people having the permission, giving themselves the permission to do it, which I know may sound cliche, but it really is this the truth. Like, being honest about what it is that you want to do, that should be like first and foremost, because a lot of times people are concerned, like, okay, well, is this what the market wants? And are people going to really buy this? I don't know if they really need it. First of all, if it's on your heart, it's on your heart for a reason. And the only thing that's stopping you is the fact that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust it. And that's okay, because I understand where that comes from. At least, for me, and I understand that that happens, but I have to also be honest with you. Like, there is no, you don't need to do a bunch of digging and research. If you are someone who has benefited from this work, there is a need for it. And it needs to be done in the way that you did it, because you do it that way for a reason. And any other reason is going to make you feel like a fraud, like an imposter. Is going to make you show up less confidently, and it's going to ultimately have you in a place where you're running a business that you hate. And I hate that for you. I hate when I see people feeling like they're putting these imaginary, boundaries on what they're able to do. And so that's the first thing that I thought of. Then the other thing that I thought of, that I was reminded of in the conversation that we had, was about this fear that I've had about ruining my momentum. And like you said, like where I was last weekend, where I feel like I still am, where I've been, is just like flowing. Like, it's just like water.
Your new
I'm like,
normal.
oh my gosh, like, that came out of here. I just like, it's just been really, it just feels so good. I don't even know how, I don't have other words for it right now, y'all. I just feel good. And I started feeling myself getting scared. Like, I was feeling this fear, and it was showing up like anxiety and overwhelm, and even like this morning, just being like, "What is it, girl? What's happening, Jada?" Because you're very anxious right now. You feel like you don't have time to do anything. Where is that coming from? And so, knowing that I have this thing where there have been moments in the past where I felt like I had that momentum. I had that motion, and it was like, man, this some of this feels good. I feel like people are noticing it, and it's like taking off, it's gaining traction, content's going off, like everything is moving. But something happened in each one of those times where it feels like it just stopped. And then it felt like almost like it was just like dry. Like, I mean, just a real crunchy feeling season. And I'm like, what happened then? And I'm over here at first like racking my brain, like, well, okay, maybe it was this, and I don't want to make the same mistakes again. And then I had like a little breakthrough moment where I was like, in each of those moments, they were not fully aligned. Not a single one was fully aligned. And some of them, I knew for a fact, if I kept going and pursuing that, I was going to be negating some very important things that I didn't want to keep putting off and denying about myself and about what I could do, what I knew I wanted to do, and what I was capable of. I had the evidence that I was capable of this. And so, not wanting to really pursue those things, I'm glad the momentum. stopped. I'm glad that it halted because none of them were going to be what I wanted. And so that gave me a lot of peace in knowing that. But then also going back to what you said about patterns, I recognized some of the things that I wasn't doing that I needed. And one of those major ones was continuing to check in with myself and recognizing that I have conflicting emotions, even in really good times. I can be loving it and excited about it, and I can also be very anxious about it. I can also still have fears and concerns. I can still be sad. And so when those moments are going on, it doesn't benefit me to then negate and neglect all the things that I'm feeling. And like you're going into like that toxic positivity where it's like I don't want to speak it out loud because if I speak it then it's going to be so. Like no, I feel this way. It's an emotion.
Come on.
Acknowledge it.
Come on.
Acknowledge me. Just staring at me like, girl, now you know you sad. Like this, please, please. And every time I was not doing that. I would put work first. I would put whatever other thing I made up that needed to be a priority, and I wasn't continuing that work of checking in with me and acknowledging and giving it space to be validated. And I was able to recognize that I'm not continuing that pattern right now. Even after that event, I still whipped out that journal and I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little less high than I did on Sunday. So let's talk about that. Let's figure out what that is. Let's explore that. And that actually helped to get to this place where I'm building out this offer. And all the pieces are connecting because I didn't neglect myself just because things were going well. And so I love, once again, get the workbook, y'all, so that you can have these moments too. Cause I'm like, man, I feel so good about it. It's like I was able to acknowledge what was causing the anxiety, what was causing the overwhelm. And can I tell you that every one of those things got checked off my list today?
Come on.
Every single thing got
Come on.
checked off that list today. I'm
Just
like,
want a
man,
live
listen,
action. Yes.
who is she? Oh, it was so good. So I'm like, man, everyone should feel this. Everyone should have this. And so I just really thank you for you pursuing her first and for you making that decision that I'm not going to do the thing that comes naturally to me just because it comes naturally to me. I'm going to do the thing that I feel called to do, compelled to do, convicted to do, because that work is so important. It's so important. And I get to be a recipient of you saying yes to that. So I was not planning that. I'm feeling the emotions, but I felt like I just needed to give you those flowers publicly because it is, I mean, it's just like truly phenomenal work. And like, who would have imagined that somebody that found me on YouTube, who I'm used to seeing the little green A every time I go live, the
Nope.
little green A pop up. I'm used to seeing that. Who would have thought that such a powerful woman was on the other side of the screen, man? Ah, so incredible. So I do want to give you a chance to give us something that we can take away from today to help us to begin this process. So we already know that the workbook, get the workbook. This is not going to skip past that. But if you were to have a conversation with Liz right now, what would be something that you would encourage her to do to get started that would also be helpful for other people who are like, I don't know what's next?
So I say when you don't know what's next, stop trying to name the next. Pause with that. So you're trying to force a definition or a destination. So it's like, what do I want my career to be? What do I want my business to be? How do I want my money? What's the next opportunity? Like you're trying to force a thing into existence. And that doesn't really always produce fruit. And that's what you
Mm.
really want. You want fruit. And so I would instead ask yourself the question, what do you want your success to make possible next?
Oh, I love that.
And that is going to start opening up a lot more because what I have learned in coaching women is there's always something underneath the ask. So people can come to me for like help with their business, come to me help with a career, life, whatever. And it's like, what are you really pursuing underneath that request? They'll say, I want to change my career. I want to change my business. And I'm like, what are you pursuing? Sometimes it's freedom. Sometimes it's significant. Oftentimes, what I have is in Pursue Her, we have these things called quests. And it's the real things that women are pursuing. So with Les in particular, and just looking at the video, I think her quest is redemption.
Mm.
And what redemption quest really is about is she's done so much and there's value in that. Let's redeem some of that value,
Mm.
all the things that you've done. And then let's also go back and redeem you within those things. Because somewhere along the way, you lost pieces of yourself through those different careers, through the brand rebrand, let's go back within the things that you created and redeem those pieces of you back.
I
So
love that.
that is what I would suggest. And I would honestly suggest her to get the Reclaim Your Value workbook as a start to explore what do I want? Because I do think there's still some confusion on how her ambition ties to her values and how it ties to the experience that she really wants. And there is an exercise in the workbook that does just that, has you lay all that out and connect it all together. So that is what I would have less.
Love that. That's so good. That was off the cuff, y'all. I just threw that out. I like doing that. Oh, it's one of my favorite things. Keep her on her toes. I love that though. That's so good. I especially love really being clear about not even clear, just being honest about what you want. And what do you want? And then I think about when that comes up, when you do finally get honest about what you want, like what comes up when you think about those wants? Cuz I know for me there was like some guilt that was there, some apprehension, like can I really have this? Yeah. Am I allowed to want this? Can I have this now? And so I think that that's a beautiful place to start because I feel like that like really opens the floodgates to all the things that you had replaying that was stopping you from actually pursuing them. So beautiful, brilliant. You're brilliant. I love this. I wanna wrap things up by giving like a very brief idea into the work that we've done together because I we have to have like a dedicated episode to this. I think
Yeah.
a few minutes at the end isn't going to do it justice, but I do want to tell people about like how we work together and what we do and what your experience has been like with me. So, just to give y'all like a quick idea, I have been working with Adryane and we've been having content strategy sessions and I was scrolling on your YouTube channel and I was like there. I was in the back. You can't see me, but I was there. And so we have these sessions together where we're creating content. And so where we've been focusing on her long form, so her YouTube channel, building that out, and the content that is pulled from that, learning how to repurpose it, creating a system where she's able to take her ideas and turn it into content because I see that a lot with people where it's like I have these thoughts, I have these ideas, I know what it is that I kind of want to say, but I'm not sure how this actually translates to content. I'm not sure how to do this in content. I need help. Sometimes you just don't want to think about it. Like you got enough stuff going on in your brain. Y'all see how smart she is. There's a lot happening up there. So, content is just like, bruh, goodness, where do I start? And so we've been working together for the last few months. I don't remember what month we started, but it's been at least 2 months, maybe close to three.
You in June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been together all summer.
Yeah.
And so we've created so much amazing content. She's got to interview some of her team members. She's got to interview past clients. She's got to give like her hot takes on trending topics. And so it's just been so fun to see her and with each session see how much fun she's having with her content, which I know for me was always an important thing because I think that content should be fun. I think you should enjoy it. And I think that it should really be able to like bring out the best in you. So that's what we've been doing. And I would just love for you to share like what it's been like for you on the other end, being, being a client and being in these sessions.
Yeah. So working with Jada is amazing. Like what you see today, like the chemistry, the connect, that's there. Okay, it's always there and it's always present. And it's just what she naturally brings. So even if you're not me, you'll have it as. And what she does, her brain is so brilliant. And I tell her this all the time. She will watch you through the sessions in the background, like have a little folder that she's throwing everything in. And then by the end, she has a whole workflow. This is how you think. This is your brain. This is how you naturally process and express. And these are the content buckets that we have for you. Different formats we can use based on what you naturally do. Shut up. It made it so much easier. Because content, like to me, was like the structure, I have to fit everything into something else. And with me taking the creative thinking assessment and me being an inspirational thinker, I don't always fit in the box. I want sometimes like, oh, I want to talk about this, like right then because it's hot. Like I got it. It's in my mind. Like let it go.
Yeah, it's fresh.
So she's created these different formats of capturing those ideas and then being able to just put it in different formats. And I love that aspect. She got me like so comfortable on camera, and even on camera, I don't want to say unprepared because, when you know what you know, you know what you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but without thinking everything through. And my secondary is aesthetic. So that is contrary to that was scary a little bit. Like, so how we do it? Okay. All right. I will work through it. But it also helps you roll with the punches because sometimes when you sit down to record content, it's not all going to go your way.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when it does? What are you going to do when you're on a live with someone, they ask you a question they didn't ask? You know what I mean? Like, it's saying, like, the world is not going to come to an end. You'll be all right. And that's what I've enjoyed as well. And just going back to the topic of alignment, like Jada also helped do my brand strategy for my business for knowing my content aligns with that. I have created content in the past, so much content, different kinds of content, and feeling like they weren't all speaking the same language.
Mhm.
And that was always like maybe an unspoken thing in the back of my mind where it's like that's why I wanted the steps to go this way, like without saying, I guess all of that is like I don't want things to feel disconnected anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to be confused about like why I'm talking about this or talking about that. Like it's all connected. How can we show that this is all connected? And her strategy is what makes that so. It helps me breathe. I feel like I literally can exhale and not feel like I'm in a box anymore. Like I can only talk about this. I can only talk about business. I can only talk about career. I can only talk about life. It's like talk about whatever I want to because it's my business.
Period.
And how we set it up makes it work. So it can work for you too. And I just enjoyed that. Like she's treated every single person on my team with so much respect and care. And she's paid so much special attention to how they uniquely are. She sat down and talked to each one of them and just giving me insights on how we can all better, work together and different things like that too. Jada is a just period. Like if you are a business owner, you need Like that's all I'm gonna say. Like you're not thinking about these things, and you don't want you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
You got someone that can help you do it, okay? And she has single-handedly transformed how I've connected with my business and how my team was new at the time when Jada was doing the brand strategy, how they connect with my business. Like it set them it launched them into a whole thing, and that's how the workbook came to be. This was the first product that we created directly following the brand strategy. I'm trying to tell you, if you want to produce fruit that looks like that mirrors you, that reflects back to you the mission that you set out to do, Jada is a person to connect with when it comes to, and I say a mission-based business, and it could be different for her. I'm speaking like my language for Pursue Her and my business. But when it's mission based, you don't follow the rules. Like Jada was
Mhm.
saying, like you have a mission because for me, what I believe is that God gave it to you. So I end up attracting a lot of clients that God gave them a vision and they're trying to execute it. If God gave it to you, there's already provision. There's already people that need it. They're just waiting for you. So you're trying to follow all the marketing, the funnels and the tricks and the FOMO and for what? For what? So I love that Jada explores other ways to do business that still get you visibility, allow you to show up like you want to. Like it also builds your confidence and gives you the courage to like step out and do things that you've never done before. But it also sets you up so beautifully to be connected with. It's not just about being visible. It's not just having 100 videos out and all of that kind of stuff. Do people connect with what you're putting out? And her brand strategy, I mean, down to the T, to the colors, to the everything, was like every emotion that I wanted them to feel when they came across my brand was perfect. And she listened to. And it's just, when I tell y'all, just do it. Just do it.
I didn't get my tissue.
I mean, it's so real. It's so real. Like you just like she's connecting with one of my team members in the comments, like while we're on this, live. Like it is just I feel so seen in the work that I do, just from the initial like consultation that I had with her. I filled out her form and I gave her way more because I'm like, this is what I know. I'm gonna give you what I know to be true. And she was like, I raised you 20. Like 20x that thing. And she really did. She really and truly did. And I was like, this is it. This is and I've been dissecting that thing. I've been looking at it to integrate it to like my business model in different ways, adjusting like how I thought this was gonna show up and be. And it just helps like this growth and scaling process for my business so much better. Like that foundation that I'm laying now is, girl, it's solid. We gotta talk this
Oh, I
but
can't
it's
wait.
solid. It is. I understand so much. I understand so much, and it is honestly because of your help and her connections, who she's connected to, as well. Like this is it's true. You want to be in with Jada. You know, I'm just saying, she's a person you want to get with her. I've been told, I connect people too, but Jada, she gonna get you where you need to also. So I would trust anybody. I would recommend Jada to anyone. Like I literally would easily put them in Jada's. She talked to one of my team members who's gonna come up, and she was a teen, like she was just 18, fresh. How Jada worked with her, spoke with her, like,
That's my girl.
connects with. I mean, it was so beautiful to watch. It was so beautiful to watch and see like different people blossom and understand themselves. Like after they came back from doing the creative thinking assessments, they were like, "You didn't have to read me like everyone. I'm my clients." So even if are a coach and you have clients and this is something that you want to do with your clients at the creative thinking assessment, I have my clients do the same thing. Like I was read for this, but and I didn't know, which also helps me make better connections and present things to them in certain ways as well. Like it's just I'm like, oh, because that's what's wrong. Because you're viewing it like this and like this. It's the method, so you need this because you need this, and that's how you're gonna get this. I'm like, got it. So yeah, her brilliance, the things that she creates, pay attention to her offers, get on her email list because you'll be blessed by it. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. It's gonna have you thinking in a different way um than maybe you would have. It's I'm gonna say this and she's not, so Jada don't listen. I feel like it's gonna call you high. I know that you like I'm a content creator. I think you gotta be I'm an influencer. I think you gotta be I think you have business. So be about that business. Jay's gonna help
Period.
you.
That is exactly what I want to. That is how I think. I'd be
Yeah,
like, "Yeah,
Jay,
is that it though? Is that it? That's more." Thank you so much for that, Adrian. I love you. You're just a
thank
delight. I was like, I don't know what I did to get such an amazing person in my life, but
you.
it's just been great. You never know who you're gonna meet on the internet, but I'm glad it was you. I'm glad it was you. So with that being said, y'all, I do have an offer coming up. You definitely want to be on my email list. The best way to do that right now is to take the creative thinking style quiz. It is free. And there is a tool that's connected to it that shows you things like why you stall or procrastinate, what type of offers make sense for the way that you think, because that matters and you shouldn't be doing stuff you don't want to do in your own business that doesn't make sense. It shows you how you collaborate with others and where you are strong and where you may need to be supported, where you might slow things up a little bit. It's okay. It happens. But you'll learn all of that by taking the creative thinking style. So make sure you go check it out. It'll be linked below. Everything that we've discussed today will be down here where you can go to get the Reclaim Your Value workbook is going to be here. I'm also going to tag Adrian's channel so that if you're still wanting more of her, which you probably are, there's tons of content for you all ready to go and just get your Adrian fix. I highly recommend it, highly suggest it. They're great conversations. I was on the other side of the screen, stuck. Okay, y'all. Like, I was like, oh my God, I could listen to you talk about this all day. So good. So make sure you go and check out all the things. Thank you, Adrian, so much. I knew it was going to be incredible, but it was even more incredible. I enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for coming up. And you'll be seeing more Adrian. This won't be the last time that you'll get to see her. So we'll have her coming in more recurring, which is, I know, surprise. I didn't tell y'all that, but that's going to be happening. So you don't have to be sad. She'll be back.
I want
But
to say thank you for pursuing her because you have been that example as well. And just watching you. This has been so rewarding to to see in real time. You really are. You
thank
really are. You really are. You are pursuing. Yeah, same thing.
you for
If
that.
you're ready to pursue her, go to pursue. We're ready to receive you. Get your workbook, book a consultation. Don't delay. Get on
Yeah, get your life. You were trying to figure it out long enough. She can help.
that.
Okay, y'all. Y'all be good. Stay safe. I will actually see y'all tomorrow because I'm going to be back doing a creative thinking style assessment live. Yeah, that's gonna be good. She don't even know what she in for, Adrian.
No,
She don't even know. She was like,
get
"Oh yeah,
together,
that
see what
sounds fun." She gonna find out. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I cannot wait. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. So if you want to see what that looks like live, make sure you come back tomorrow and check that out. But until then, I will see y'all in the next video.